Welcome to my channel. I'm Sneeby Joker, and on today's episode, we are going over the top 5 tanks that have helped me improve and get me from bronze to gold with the limited amount of time I'm able to play this game. Now, these are based on my opinion and their ease of use and how they've helped me gain higher rank in Marvel Rivals. Number 5, Penny Parker. And the reason why Penny is on this list at number 5 is for a couple of reasons. One, her ability to constantly shoot at a distance with unlimited ammo. Her ability to have a really cool spider bot that counts as like a home base, kind of like a turret system. Now, yes, this can be destroyed, but it's very nice and also heals you and your allies when you're in the net. But also these mines. These mines are supposed to be invisible when they're in your net, but can be placed anywhere, don't have to be placed in your net, and can be placed in various positions and have unlimited amount, but they do have a timer for when they explode. Now, the only downside to Penny is sadly she's not an offensive person. Yes, people use her as an offense, but she's more of a defensive person in domination or when you're pretty much defending the point to try and stop the enemy team from pushing it further to get to the next checkpoint. Being an offense really doesn't do much because she has to stay near this home base to improve or to basically get the full potential of Penny Parker. Number 4 was tough for me, because it came down between The Thing and Thor. But playing both characters and feeling them out more and more, I really enjoyed The Thing because of that. Because you can basically stun your enemies, you can run at them and stun them. I mean, this move right here is almost unlimited with no cooldown and does an immense amount of damage. And as you saw right there, I was able to take out both those guys with that punch. I mean, this alone, getting there faster, being able to run into your enemies and slam them up, makes Thing a better character, in my opinion, than Thor. But also, you have the L1, and L1 on the PlayStation controller allows you to put a shield on your allies. So if you're going in to the enemy, you smack, and you turn around and hit L1 to go back to your allies to put a shield on them, or damage reduction on them and on yourself, is fantastic. The problem I have with The Thing is, again, he's a frontline type of tank. And I'm not saying that's terrible, but in order to use The Thing to his full potential, just like Thor, you kind of have to be close to the enemy to use not only his ultimate, but most of his melee attacks. And as a tank, yes, you want to push forward, but at the same time, you're really not having any damage debuffs like another tank where you have a shield or ability to block damage. All you have with The Thing is a damage reduction, and this kind of what puts him over Thor, because Thor really doesn't have a damage reduction. He's more, again, of that pile-in attack tank. So that's why The Thing is number 4. Number 3 is probably one of my all-time favorite tanks that I've played for the longest time. I was a Groot main for a very long time until I realized that although Groot is very good, especially with this wall here that pretty much allows you to gain extra health while standing next to it, but not only that, you can put down his walls, and as you're attacking the enemy, you saw those vines come out. And that is a great thing to have. Not only are you getting the extra damage from these walls, you're getting extra health from this big wall over here, but his ult, which is I Am Groot, which again you'll hear across the way, allows you to pin your enemies in place. And if done correctly, like I'm going to do right now, you not only are getting them to stand in one spot, but your wall behind them is doing extra damage while you're doing it. And then, of course, he has his little grenade throw, but honestly, that's more for extra damage. Yes, you can take him out. You can do a lot of damage with it, but it's not as well as his walls. Now, the only downside to Groot is these walls don't have the greatest amount of health and can be taken out easily. And if you take this wall out and these walls, well, guess what? Groot is kind of defenseless and not getting the damage buff, or not, sorry, damage reduction buff and or extra health needed to force enemies back. He's not considered really a solo tank. Yes, he can cut off enemies. Yes, he can put up walls that really annoy not only your enemies but your teammates, but at the end of the day, he's not going to be that one tank that's going to take you to the next level. Number 2, Magneto. Now, this was a hard pick for me because it was a tie between number 2 and what number 1 is, but should come at no surprise that Magneto is in the top 2. Magneto is considered a powerful tank because he's able to bubble himself or an ally, on top of which he's able to put up a shield that blocks projectiles and increases the amount of rings, replaces the amount of rings on your back. So if you use your rings like that to force an enemy back and put up the shield, it is taking in rings back on his back and reloading with every projectile you block, along with this bubble here. And then, of course, if you have Scarlet Witch, it amplifies Magneto and gives you that extra basic attack when you're basically taking out an enemy. So basically what it is it's more of a beam than a shot like you see Magneto doing here. And then, of course, it's the Magneto ball, Fear Magneto, that goes up in the air and takes down an enemy. The downside is you can't really melee weave as much with Magneto because his melee is very slow. Another thing is his bubbles don't last very long, nor does his front shield last very long. So he's not really blocking enough damage, but he's strong enough to do damage even if you're not hitting the enemy directly. Like I'm hitting on the right side of him and he's still taking damage. So Magneto to me is definitely a defensive tank that can help push back the enemy, create a great defense, and has enough life energy and protection to go the distance.
Ah, here they are now.
Number 1, Doctor Strange. And this should come as no surprise that Doctor Strange is part of the top 2 and probably the number 1 tank that I personally enjoy using because of this. This alone does 800 damage, and you can see right now it's out, and I'm not holding the L2 button because you have the ability to pretty much click L2 and keep it out. And it regenerates 800. It takes up to 800 damage to take this out and has blocked ult like Scarlet Witch. It's blocked Magneto's ult. It's blocked most of Star-Lord's, most of Punisher's. It can take a lot of damage, which puts Strange as one of your best tanks to push forward. But here is the other cool part.
In front of us.
Strange can shoot like this, and then you can do this. Click, shoot, click, shoot, click, shoot. You can use your shield in between shots, which allows you to block some of the damage taken. And then if you hit R1, you can relieve the darkness, doing damage to not just one enemy. As you saw, I did damage to 2, expulsing the darkness, getting rid of it. But on top of that, you can melee weave. So if you're shooting someone, you're melee weaving, you can do extra damage if you're close to them. But the best part about it is, if someone's close to you and you're melee weaving, I'm not even looking at that guy and I hit him. And then the darkness, which does a lot of damage when you expel it. Doctor Strange is great, right? He does a lot of damage and he also takes a lot of damage. But he also has this, which can be used to turn the tides of any game. You can use it at the beginning, which I saw one time. You could use it at the end to try and get back to the point in time to either push the enemy back or change the tides where you get the point back. But also, if you're very good, which I'm not, you can block the enemy and portal hold them in their spawn to give you the extra time needed to do what you got to do or lower the time and waste time while they're in the portal. I mean, Strange itself has so many things that can be done, along with the Eye of Agamotto, which if you have your dark energy up and you use that and expel it while taking out the next healer, which again, I've learned over time, take the healer out, Richie, take the healer. Doctor Strange is a critical tank that I would implore you to learn and use going forward to help you move up the ranks in Marvel Rivals ranked. I mean, even some of the number one players like Anakin, Mojax, who's the number one player, currently the number one player on PlayStation, use Strange to the best of their ability to turn the tides of most of their games. Most of the top players are using Magneto, Strange, or some of the other characters I've shown here today. Now, don't get me wrong. These other tanks have their uses. Like, if you're going to be like the color, new cosmetic, if you're going to be a Venom, Venom is good to go towards the back line and really clean up your healers and DPS, but you're leaving your other teams behind. Hulk, same thing. Hulk is good, but I feel like Hulk is underpowered, more underpowered than I originally thought, but is a good tank and can really do a lot of damage if played well with another tank. Captain America has been deemed to be unbeatable in certain areas and can be very well played and push people back. I've been pushed back multiple times with a Captain America. And finally, Thor. Thor is a great attack tank, and I've gone up many times as Groot and had many one-on-one fights with Thor where either he wins or I win. Again, I'm not saying these guys are bad tanks. I'm just saying if you really want to help your team and really improve yourself, try one of the top 5 tanks I mentioned here today. If you like what you see, please sub to my channel. Please like to help me grow and help YouTube know that I'm doing all right. And then, of course, check out Snippy Joker Shorts, my Twitter feed, all Snippy Joker, Instagram Snippy Joker, and TikTok Snippy Joker, and soon to be and is live now, Snippy Joker 2.0 for all my single player gameplay walkthroughs and gameplays. I thank you for watching, I thank you for the support, and I hope to see you on the next one.